Rise and shine, roommates. It's your girl, Lysation Turner, and I'm here with Shaq. How are you?
Doing good.
So what's been going on? Tell me about fatherhood. Tell me about what's new in your life right now.
Well, my son was just born almost like 2 months ago. His name is Adonis. It's been a blessing. It's difficult sometimes, but like being a new father teaches you patience and it gives you more compassion as well.
So I was actually watching this video on Instagram. It was his father saying that he believes that a lot of the generation before you weren't proud to be fathers because the generation before them weren't lovable fathers. And the fact that you guys, the generation now, are able to love the job of fatherhood is because they seen what their father goes through, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that what your situation, or did you have a stable background?
See, I had a stable background, but a lot of people around me didn't. So at the end of the day, like I know, and in my personal opinion, like my dad is the best father ever. So I want to try to be like him. I won't be able to amount to what he's done, but I want to be like him. And I want to be able to just like show people like it's like you're supposed to want to be a father. It's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be a job. It's supposed to be something that you love to do and also need to do as well.
So you are basically underlined as an outspoken activist, okay? You speak for Black men, you speak for entrepreneurs, I believe you speak for all races depending on what the situation is. You speak for everybody, especially my favorite subject you spoke on is abortion. And that's a big thing right now that's going on. So what is your view on our generational problems such as abortion, racism?
If we go with abortion, I mean, to be honest, I think it's wrong how like men try to make rules on women's body, because at the end of the day, like we don't have the same bodies that y'all do. We don't go through the same struggles that y'all do.
And somebody noticed.
Yeah, and I feel like it's wrong for men to say, oh no, like there shouldn't be abortion. Because at the end of the day, like God forbid, what if the woman was raped? Do you still want her to keep that baby because you put a law in place? Like she doesn't want to have to think about that every day. So that should be her choice whether she wants the baby or not. And when it comes to just racism, it's just everybody think like it's gotten better, but it's actually like gotten worse. Like including like with the protests, it's gotten worse because 5 Black people got hung in the past 2.5 months. So if people think it's getting better because there's more awareness, it doesn't matter because it's not about awareness. It's about change. And if you're not changing anything, then you're going nowhere.
So what would be your mindset if you had the opportunity to rearrange the blueprint of how we fix racism? What would be your theory?
I mean, I don't think like a lot of people want to know my theory, but if I had
I'm asking you for a reason.
All right. I mean, to be honest, if I'm being like real blunt honest right now, when it comes to racism, like I have zero tolerance for it. So if something were to happen, or if I was the one in place of it, like if something like racist happened, like that's automatic. Like you're going to jail. Like it's over, because at the end of the day, like you shouldn't have to hate somebody because of their skin, because that's something that they can't control. Right. That's something that they were born into. So at the end of the day, if you're hating somebody for something that they can't control, there's no place for you on the streets. Like that's just wrong.
Yeah, I definitely believe there should be a law in place that revolves around racism. I believe that simply because there isn't any restrictions, people definitely feel empowered by the words or by their actions that they use against people of color. Tell me about ductwork. Exactly what does that mean? How do you apply it to life? And give us an example of how it can be something you can apply to your daily activities.
Ductwork is just simply, you're always like calm above the surface. You're calm above the water, like a duck. And people don't see the work that you put in on a daily basis. People don't see the tears. They don't see the struggle. Just like when a duck is paddling in the water, you don't see its legs. You just see it calm, cool, and collective on the water, just floating and swimming. But at the end of the day, their legs are paddling hard. So the way I apply that to my life is that I work hard every single day. I don't complain about it. I go out and do what I got to do. I'm a man, I ain't gonna lie. Like if I gotta cry, I gotta cry. But the next morning I wake up and I'm more determined. I'm more hungry. And at the end of the day, people don't see that. They just see my hard work come to fruition. They just see like when I graduated, or when I went back to college to play football, or just like a lot of other stuff I was doing. But they never seen the struggle because I never talked about it. And there was no reason to talk about it, because at the end of the day, like everybody has a story. So I don't need sympathy from everybody. So I just rather people see me being a strong man, calm, cool, and collective. And then whenever I get to the end, whether I retire at 60 or 70, whatever the case may be, then I'll tell people the whole entire story.
When we were speaking about ductwork the other day, you also told me it's also like you only see the outside. For example, like the duct, you only see them floating and the bottom is paddling.
Yeah.
So explain a little bit of that.
So like, obviously, like a duck is a very graceful animal. They, depending on what type of duck, like they can be aggressive, but most of the time they're cool in every situation. If danger comes, they fly away, but most of the time they're just in the water. They're just going along slow, but they're paddling like crazy. And nobody sees that with the duck at all. Like nobody sees how hard they're working. So that's why I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, I was like duck work, because I wanted to apply that to my life. Like I wanted to work as hard as a duck. Like it sounds crazy, but like when I studied them, I was just like, yo, like these animals work hard, and that's why they're still surviving.
My comment on that situation for everybody that's listening, I definitely believe that you should definitely take in what he's explaining on ductwork, because I think that's an example that our generation should use right now. I have met a lot of people, and I have seen a lot of people work so hard, and they don't even show it until the end result. Just the mindset of ductwork, as you say, is what gets people through it. So my advice to everybody else, if you're going through something hard, you're trying to build a business, you're trying to get through school, sports, definitely keep in mind ductwork. Speaking about ductwork and working hard, we're going to step right into financial revolution. You are right now in a entrepreneurship business, as I would say. Am I wrong?
No, you're right.
You actually do very well in it. We spoke about it the other day, about your Instagram post and about you explaining that you make a significant amount of money on a certain day, and it actually benefits you down the line. It actually helps your bank account, as everybody needs help with. So explain to us, what financial revolution are you actually in? Explain what do you actually do and how does it actually help you?
I'm a Forex trader, which is a $6 trillion market. I got into it.
Man, $6 trillion?
Yeah, it's a $6 trillion. Yeah, a lot of people don't know it, and it was just like this guy Mike that hit me up on Instagram, and he seen like some of my posts and stuff, and like he was just talking to me, asking me about my financial situation, and I was honest with him. I'm like, yo, like I'm struggling right now, like I'm trying to get to it, just have my son, I don't know what to do, and then he was like, yo, do you have 234? And I'm like, damn, I do, but I'm not really trying to spend it. But I'm like, you know what, whatever. So I gave him, spent the 234, and then probably since 22 days ago, like I have a brand new car. My son is able to, like if I need any type of money to get for him, like I got it already, which is no problem. Or if my mom needs help around the house, my dad need help around the house, like if they ask me for money, which they never do, but if they do, I have it because of that. And it just gives me financial freedom. I was working this other job, and I was working probably like 35 to 40 hours a week. But since I started trading, like I have an extra 35 to 40 hours because I studied it. It's a skill set. Like a lot of people think it's a scam because like how it works. But at the end of the day, like I got a chance to make residual income as well as make regular income anytime during the day and be free and do what I want. And it's helped me pursue my other areas that I want to do with my entrepreneurship when it comes to personal training or just comes to other things. So like definitely Forex trading, it helped me a lot.
Many people are really resistant of giving up that much money.
Yeah.
And knowing you, I know you are a man of faith. So tell me how faith played into all of this.
Basically, but everything I do, like I usually try my best to pray and to talk to God. I'm like, yo, God, give me a sign, whatever the case may be. So back to the story with Mike, he had this guy named Marquez talk to me. And he was literally in the same situation I was. His girl was born a month before my son. And then he told me that he basically had like $13 left in his bank account after he had spent like the 234. And then next thing you know, he's like just taking vacations with his girl and his newborn baby. I'm like, yeah, his family, like they're just having like a good time. And he was like, listen, bro, he was like, this is something that you should definitely be a part of. I was in your situation a month ago, and he was actually in a worse situation I was because I had more support than him. He doesn't have the support I do at home. And then when I seen it, I said, I have to. So then, like I said, like I spent the money, I prayed about it, but most important thing, I did keep the faith, but I made sure that I worked hard. Because at the end of the day, like 234, like a lot of people like, oh, that's not really like a lot of money, but people in our position would be like, that's a lot of money because like the position that we're in. But at the end of the day, it was worth it because yeah, it is. Because like my life changed in about 22 days, and it's helped me be free, and it's honestly made me happier as well.
Is it schedule based, or you make your own schedule? Is it like you said, it is a skill set type of thing? So do you have to watch the time? How does the numbers work?
So basically, I'm gonna just like go basically like throughout my day. Like I wake up, I look at the market, I get something to eat, and I'm just sitting there. I'm looking at the computer. I gotta get something to eat. You know, I eat all the time. Yeah. So I'm just studying. I'm studying the charts, and then probably like 2-3 hours after I wake up, that's when I do my thing. I'm on there for like 30 minutes to an hour. Either make money or lose money. Luckily, I have been making money. I haven't like lost a lot yet because of the study and stuff I've been doing. Like at night again, I'll probably wait till like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then I do the same thing. And then basically the philosophy was for me, if I can have $40 in profit for 3 days, 5 days a week, my money's going up. But what I did, I took a little bit of risk. The first couple of times I did like 200 or 300 after, I got like the paycheck from my job, and then I was hitting. And then what I tell people that want to do the same thing as me, I'm like, listen, don't do what I did because I was just comfortable doing it for myself. You need to find your level of comfort. You need to study and learn it yourself because at the end of the day, it's a skill set, and everybody, like even though we're all learning the same skill, it's different ways to make money in this industry. But it's also a lot of ways to lose money at the same time. And that's why I'm also glad that I also did have my son, because it taught me patience, because you need a lot of patience with this. And everybody knows me, I'm not a patient person. So
did you lose money more than you make money?
Oh, no, I definitely made more than I lost.
You went up.
Yeah.
So we're just going to speak about your charity. Or not, you told me it was your church's charity.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. And how do you guys work? And when did it start? And what is the mission behind it?
Okay, so Spirit of Truth Church with Pastor Nana and my dad, Darren Edmond, they actually go to Lakewood almost every weekend on Saturdays. They give out clothes and food to the homeless. Like they'll write the people's name down. They'll buy shoes for them that fit them exactly. They'll buy shirts, sweats, and all that. They went to Washington D.C. to fight for the less fortunate and poor. Like they got arrested at Washington D.C. because the cops felt like they were causing a ruckus, but like what
year was this?
It was last year, but they never got in trouble because they didn't do anything wrong. They got wrongfully arrested, but that's basically what we do. And if it's like any area in Jersey that needs help, they're going to do it. And most of the time it's Lakewood because that area is bad and nobody cares about those people at all. Like to be honest, even though I do like going out there to help, I hate going out there at the same time because when I see like the little girls and the little boys out there and like they can't shower or they don't eat a lot, like they look malnourished. And then I'm seeing like all the older people out there. Like this one guy, he had to get his foot amputated because it was too cold out there for him. And he didn't have shoes that fit him.
The thing is, we would not even understand or try to believe without you telling the story. I believe that listeners, or not even me, without you telling me the story, I wouldn't believe that it was this close to home.
Yeah, in Lakewood, it's crazy.
Yeah, because when you say malnourished, like I wouldn't even think malnourished people. I understand it's homeless people in the United States, but when it comes to malnourished, I guess it's never brought up as a topic for me to believe that it happened to you.
Yeah, and it, like I said, it's honestly sad. Like there was a couple times where I had like a hoodie and like I would take it off and try to like give it to like the kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then even sometimes the parents, like they wouldn't even take it because they felt so bad because they needed so much help. And like that in itself broke my heart because at the end of the day, like you're homeless and you're still denying clothes, and I just like felt bad. And like I still like gave it to them, put it in their basket because at the end of the day, like they're going to need it more than me. But it's just like it's really a humbling sight to see. Is this a certain section of Lakewood? Is this a homeless building or? Well, they go to the locations, the square by the police station, and it's also by this church. But it's literally right by the police station. And like the homeless people, they're all over Lakewood, but they know to come at the square and you'll see on Saturday, on like most Saturdays. So it's like their meetup, basically. Yeah. All right. And most Saturdays, like you'll literally see like my pastor preaching out there to the whole entire town. and he's in the middle of the square, like they're praying for people, like my dad, my mom, aunt, and then like other people like in the like church community, like they help out a lot as well. And the people like they know them by name because they go out there so much. And my mom and dad and pastor, they also know the homeless people by name because they go out there so much, and that makes me feel good about it.
I'll be proud of anybody that goes out to help during their day. And I'm going to ask you this question simply because I wouldn't mind taking a trip out there to help on my own as well. On Saturdays, are they there during a certain time? Like, what are their schedules when it comes to helping the homeless? And can other people get involved with them as well?
Yeah, of course. Like, other people could definitely get involved because they do need help sometimes. It's usually between like 12 and 3, the start time. It just depends on like how hot or cold the day is. Because like it was sometimes where it was like too hot during that time where they had to have it later on in the day or earlier in the day. And then there were some times where it was just too cold where I forgot like what they call it. But I think if it's below like 30 or like 29 degrees, like a certain amount of people are able to be in the homeless shelter. So like that's how they do it. But it just depends on the time of day. Usually it's between like 12 and 3 though. So whenever.
That's good information to know. The conversation on a good note, and we're going to go back to the Muse because you actually have another activist in your town, such as Clarence.
Yeah.
How are you guys working together for change? Because as everybody knows, change is far from now, and everybody that sits on my show, I really try to encourage you guys to do something different. Tell me you and Clarence next move. Sorry for entering his name without him knowing, but I really need to know what's the next move because I would probably want to get involved.
Well, to be honest, I'm not sure of his next move, but I know that like his protest, like it did like wake a lot of people up in Wall.
It definitely
like,
was in the news as well.
Yeah, like it was on YouTube, it was on different platforms, and he did a podcast interview. I'm not sure like who did it for him. If I had the name, I'll let you know. But like a lot of people, it was good feedback, and it was good because like if everybody knows what Wall Township is White Wall, like that's what they call it. So the fact that like a Haitian American was able to do that in Wall, it was big. All right, that's huge.
Roots here. So
yeah.
I definitely feel like Clarence is definitely going to be the bigger change than regular people.
Yeah.
He came with good reasonings, good explanations. And like his emotion just pulled it all in. Like his emotions show that it's a serious issue.
Yeah, that's a fact. And hopefully whenever like schools and stuff open back up or like sports and stuff for Wall, hopefully they listen. Because at the end of the day, like we know that there's still gonna be hate in a lot of people's hearts. Like he still got hate like afterwards, which was messed up because at the end of the day it's like, bro, like once again, like nobody is saying that only Black Lives Matter. Like we're just saying that Black Lives Matter too. And that's what he was also like trying to say in Wall, because at the end of the day, like Black lives don't matter at all in Wall, and I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Because they don't.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, like he knows that he has 2 sisters that's in Wall that's growing up, and
he has the cutest sisters. I'm sorry, he does. He has the cutest sisters. Sorry. Okay, you can go.
Yeah, and as they get older, they're going to learn more. They're going to experience more. So at the end of the day, it's good that he was on the forefront for that. So like now his sisters are able to see that, and also his sisters like friends, because at the end of the day it's all about the younger generation, because it's hard to change people in our generation and older because their mind is already so fixated on everything, and they were brought up a certain way, and after years of hate, it's hard to get that hatred out. But you could change a kid's heart anytime, or you could just show a kid right from wrong. So once again, the fact that he did that in Wall, there's a lot of white kids that are going to see that, and hopefully they remember it, because it should be remembered.
Definitely, like you said, when schools open back up, a speech about racism and injustice period should be included into like your Spirit Week, if you ask me.
Of course.
Like the end of the Friday Spirit Week speech and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely here. I'm encouraging anybody and everybody to push that, because we have proven that a lot of force shows great change. So we're ending it off right there. I think we had a good conversation. We were wrapping it up. All you had to say was yeah.
No, I know what you was trying to do. Definitely great.
I enjoy talking to you. I always enjoy talking to people that's enlightened and new things, change, and just knowledge, and have an open mind on everything. We are, this week for our change challenge, we are doing a donation. So after analyzing everything that you said, I took some notes, and our change challenge this week is donation. So for anybody that's listening, I need you to donate to your favorite charity. Please donate and be the change that we all wish to see for tomorrow, because at the end of the day, the world don't rock without us. So next time, roommates, it's your girl, Lusacia.